Most people spend years getting really good at one thing, and then life asks them to do something else. You can pull 200 kilos off the floor and still gas out carrying your kid up 2 flights of stairs. You can run a half marathon and still not be able to hold a barbell over your head without falling apart. In my opinion, that's not fitness. That's a hobby with a very narrow scope. So here's what I actually do and why almost none of it is what you would call a normal workout. Somewhere along the line, the fitness industry convinced everybody to pick a lane. You're either a lifter or a runner. You do bodybuilding or you do CrossFit. You train for strength or you train for conditioning. Cue high rocks. And the second you pick, you stop doing everything else. The problem is your body doesn't care about your identity. It adapts to exactly what you ask of it and nothing more. If all you ever ask is 3 sets of 10 in a straight line, that is the only thing you'll be good at. The people who stay capable into their 40s, their 50s, and their 60s are not the specialists. They're the ones who kept a bit of everything. Now this is an overhead squat. Most people watching this could not do one of them with an empty bar, and that's exactly why it's in my program. It's not only a strength exercise, it's a diagnostic. It exposes angle mobility. It exposes thoracic spine mobility. It exposes shoulder stability. It exposes whether your core can actually hold a position under load instead of just crunching. You can't cheat. There's no way to build muscle through a bad overhead squat, which is why so many strong people avoid it. You don't have to load this heavy, and the point is not always the number or the weight on the bar. The point is that once a week I am forcing my body into a position I would otherwise never see. And that position is the reason my shoulders and hips still work. I'm soon hitting my 40s, and I move just as well as I did in my 20s. Now, here's where people get this wrong. Diversifying your training does not mean abandoning the basics. It means adding to them. I still deadlift, I still squat, press, and pull. I do it quite a lot actually. And those builds the muscle, the bone density, the raw force production, and everything else that sits on top of it. You do not get to skip them because you found something more interesting on Instagram. Progressive overload on the main lifts still is the engine of your physique. Nothing has replaced it and nothing is going to. The functional stuff, the gymnastics, the conditioning, all of that is built on top of the foundation, not instead of it. So just because you're trying to improve your high rocks time doesn't mean you shouldn't be doing these things. Or just because you want to get as big as possible, going to the gym, watching Sam Sulek every day on Instagram or YouTube doesn't mean you shouldn't do the conditioning or diversifying your program outside the traditional lifts. And then there's this. Dumbbell snatches, toes to bar, some barbell squats, all in one piece, moving fast, heart rate through the roof. Here is what's actually happening. The dumbbell snatch is loaded conditioning, which means I'm building an anaerobic engine while still moving weight. The toes to bar is gymnastics. So I'm training grip, midline, and the ability to control my own body weight in space. The squat snatch under fatigue is coordination and skill when I'm tired, which is the only time skill actually matters. 3 completely different qualities, one workout, 15 minutes. And the aerobic base I built here is what lets me recover between heavy sets, recover between sessions, and still have the energy for the rest of my life at the end of the day. My goal has never been to look good in just one photo. It is to have a body that does what I ask of it. Strong when it needed to be strong, fit enough that a flight of stairs, a long hike, a cross-country run, a spontaneous game of football, paddle, a high rocks, whatever it might be, it'll never be a problem. Anytime, anywhere, let's go. Be a weapon outside the gym, not just inside of it. You gotta pick a foundation, keep the main lifts, and then add the things you're bad at. That's the whole strategy, and that's how you build your fitness. That's how you should define your fitness, being able to do whatever, whenever, and then not suck at it. If you want this built into an actual plan, instead of just copying random workouts off YouTube, then that's what I do with my clients. Link is in the description. Otherwise, go find the movement you've been avoiding and put it in your program this week. You don't have to pick sides, But I think you should look at fitness as being a way that you can build your physical capabilities so that you can crush life in more than just one way. For most people, that's just inside the gym. But what if you could train in a way that's going to help you conquer life, stay injury-free, look good, feel good now, and also for the last 50 years of your life? That's what I'm about.